going to be riding 6,000 miles from my hometown of Whitley Bay to Nordkapp, which is deep inside the Arctic Circle in Norway. And this is to raise money for brain injury charity Cerebra and also to raise awareness for them as well.
Okay, now the North Cape is towards, as you say, beyond the Arctic Circle, and yet at the beginning of your route you're heading due south.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to do is take the shortest sea crossing possible, which is Dover-Calais, and ride as many miles as I could to get up to the Arctic Circle.
Okay, now I suspect, driving down through England, across France, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark and so on, you're on pretty decent roads. Once you start getting up north through Norway and Sweden, what are the roads going to be like up that way?
Well, really, the first 1,500 miles is going to be motorway all the way to Oslo, but once I get north of Oslo, the roads get pretty small, and really, even the main route that goes through Norway is equivalent to our B road, so it's going to be quite challenging, especially with the weather up there.
What sort of training then have you had to do for something like this?
Well, I've done long motorbike trips before through Europe, but it's always been in hot conditions. I've actually, 2 weekends ago, went to a commando survival weekend with some ex-SAS soldiers who used to do training in the Arctic to get me prepared for the environment and the animals and the weather and stuff up there.
Okay, now how are you going to be sleeping at night then? Are you staying in hotels, bed and breakfast, camping or what?
Well, to keep costs as low as possible, I'm going to be camping the whole way. And once I get north of Oslo again, I'm going to be wild camping, so not even any campsites or shower facilities. I'll be in the woods with all the animals and the wildlife up there, so it's going to be pretty challenging.
I think one of the biggest challenges you'll face actually is either reindeer jumping out across the roads or mosquitoes. Now, is there anything that you can do to prepare for that kind of thing?
Well, in terms of mosquitoes, obviously I can get the usual insect bite, but for the reindeer and elk that could potentially be on the road, just being very aware, which is always key on a motorbike, as you're often more exposed than you're on a car.
And are the roads tarmacked that far north?
Yeah, they are tarmacked, but especially when you get very far north, they're only single lane with passing points, so you've got to be aware of other traffic coming around corners, blind bends and things like that, so they are challenging and very slow with the mileage I've got to cover every day.
Now, you're going unsupported, so does that mean then you've got to carry all the gear yourself?
Yep, so all my camping equipment, filming equipment, food, everything like that is coming on the motorbike with me, so I'm going to be fully loaded, which again makes it even more challenging due to the weight on the motorbike.
So what is going to be the hardest physical challenge that you will be facing?
I think certainly riding for 8-9 hours a day. Obviously motorcycling is usually a pleasurable thing for a lot of people, but doing that kind of mileage and staying alert is going to be the biggest challenge, so I need to make sure I don't get dehydrated and I eat properly, which can be difficult when you're sitting on a motorbike. Okay,
now we're going to talk about the bike in just a moment, but in the meantime, just tell us again then why you are doing this.
So I'm doing this really for my little brother. He's 17 years old now, but he suffered a brain injury when he was 9 months old, which left him with disability. And the charity Cerebra have been fantastic in giving support to him and also to my mum and my family in terms of support and counselling due to the difficulties it's had. So really, I'm doing it for him and for all the other brain injured children around the UK.
Okay, now we'll give out details of how people can support you in just a moment. Do you know yet how much you're hoping to raise?
I'm hoping to raise £2,500. I'm up to £1,500 already, so it'd be great to hit that target and even surpass it. That would be fantastic.
Okay, now let's talk about your toy. Tell us a little bit about your bike here then and how you've had to modify it.
So my bike is a Suzuki GSX 650F. It's a sports touring motorbike. Not really many people do this kind of distance on it, so I've fitted it with a more comfortable seat, some extra boxes for my luggage, and also I'm going to have an additional screen on there to try and keep the harsh weather off me when I'm riding through the Arctic.
Do you want to fire it up? Let's hear what it sounds like. It sounds like it's in good condition. I guess one of the things, though, you can't afford to do is for it to fall over at any point because it'd be too big to pick up with one person?
Yeah, certainly. It's going to be very heavy with all the gear on it. I'd probably be able to pick it up by myself, but if I was going at any speed when it tipped over, it certainly wouldn't be a condition to get me to the Arctic. So safety is paramount in this kind of trip.
Okay, well, listen, Gordon, thanks ever so much for coming into BBC Newcastle today. Good luck on your trip. I know you need to get a few more miles under your belt, so I'll let you get away now, all right?
Thanks very much, John. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. That's Gordon Stewart. Now, if you want to find out a bit more about what he's up to as the way he goes, go into a search engine and look for Arctic Ride 2014, and you can get further details of how you can support him from there.